Hello YouTube, it is that time of year again. Yes, we are on the Opus 16 spoilers, and I have a weird spoiler for you guys. It is... yeah, I'll let it'll speak for itself. So, my spoiler for Opus 16 is none other than King Leo. So, he is a 1 CP 7k water forward with the text, you must control characters of cost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 to cast Leo. You cannot play Leo due to summons or abilities. When Leo enters the field, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, cast 1 card among them without paying the cost, and return the other cards to the bottom of your deck in any order. So... yeah, a bit of a tough sell, just because of the fact that you have to have characters of 1 through 6 to be able to get him on the field. You can't play him through summons and abilities, so you cannot search him onto the field, you cannot have him in your break zone and cast Phoenix, anything like that. He can only be played onto the field by casting him from your hand. And even if, say, hypothetically, you stole him from your opponent's deck using something like Mind Flayer or Lanny, you still have to control characters of 1 through 6 to be able to cast him. So, but if you manage to hit that prerequisite, then that means you get to look at the top 5 cards of your deck. And now this is important because you look at them, you don't reveal them, which means that only you, as the person casting Leo, gets to see the cards. Your opponent does not, which is really good. And you get to look at the top 5 cards of your deck and then cast any of them for free. So, yeah, he has that ultimately a fairly big barrier to get him onto the field, but if you can, then he can become very powerful very quickly, because the fact you can cast absolutely anything from the top 5 cards of your deck is really good. So you're paying 1 CP. I mean, even including the fact that he's a card from your hand, that's 3 CP for a forward of 7k, which, you know, he can just block and that's fine. But then also there's, I mean, any card, provided you don't reveal like 5 backups or something that's already on the field. It's a really good card, and Water has got just so much really good expensive stuff. Big fan for it, Leviathan, there's just so many good cards. But yeah, ultimately, to get them on the field, you have to deal with this barrier of the fact you need characters of 1 through 6, and to be honest, for the most part, that isn't a problem. You can fulfill that prerequisite with your backups, but it's the 6 cost character which is probably going to be the one that's the most awkward, because in most elements there aren't that many good 6 cost backups or even that many good 6 cost forwards. Monsters? Yeah, there aren't any. So it's gonna be kind of awkward, but I have a couple of ideas for you. So first up, I've got Sarah and Princess Sarah. So ultimately, Sarah being able to search Princess Sarah is a nice way to be able to fulfill the 4 and the 1 slot. To be honest, 1 is also kind of an awkward one to try and fill as well, but definitely more accessible using something like Sarah to then get that Princess Sarah down. And ultimately, if you already have Princess Sarah on the field and you play Sarah, she can search you King Leo as well, so not too bad. Star Sybil and Pururu. So yeah, again, 5 cost backups are kind of awkward, but ultimately, generally, there's enough in most elements, and they are actually really playable. Things like Star Sybil, Tyro, Thordan, all EX bursts, all really good value, and ultimately they work towards Leo. But Star Sybil can search you a Pururu, who is a 6 CP backup, but she becomes or she costs less depending on how many backups you control. So, you know, at worst she is a 6 CP backup, which isn't great, but if you can get even a couple of backups down, she becomes a 4 cost, which gets you a card back to hand, so actually that's not too bad. So realistically, having a Pururu on the field searched by Star Sybil is not bad at all, and again works towards King Leo, or sorry, just Leo, who is a king, sorry. Cid Previa. So another one, and I just kind of looked at all the 6 cost backups here, because you can play a 6 CP forward as well, and you know, there are lots of good ones that will ultimately count towards Leo's prerequisite, but you want to have them more statically on the field, and forwards are traditionally a lot easier to break than your backups. So you want to go Cid Previa, and then he can play a lightning backup of 3 onto the field, which then can search you something else potentially as well, which is just really good, and again counts towards Leo. Realm. So I think this is actually pretty decent as well, because Realm can search you 2 monsters onto the field of 1 CP and 2 CP. You have now covered exactly half of Leo's cost prerequisite, and, you know, so long as you've got those other backups down already, so, you know, hypothetically, you could have played Sid Previa into a Lightning backup to then maybe reveal Water cards, which gets you Realm to hand. You play Realm, which gets you a monster of 2 and 1. You not only have to cast a character of well, you got 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 is the one you'd be missing out on. So you need to find yourself a 4-cost character. Once you do that, Leo can come down. Not too bad. But unfortunately, there is one deck archetype which I think Leo will probably fit into the best, and he can generally be played onto the field the easiest as well, and that is, I'm sorry to say, Sky Pirates. Now, actually, I'm a massive fan of Sky Pirates, or at least I was until they became the meta. But yeah, Varn is a super easy card to play, and he just ramps so quickly, has fantastic protection, and ultimately just plays things onto the field. And Varn, or Sky Pirates, pretty much have all the cards that you'd need, which you would just standard play to hit Leo's prerequisite. So, Kites, Philo, Rickon, Balthier. The only thing you're really missing out on Sky Pirates is a 5 CP character, but even then that's not hard, because again, something like Thordan, or even forwards, you know, there's something like Bismarck as well. So it's just so easy to be able to play Sky Pirates, just naturally get to the point where you can then play Leo onto the field, and then reveal more things and play them for free. Eesh. Now, let's focus a little bit more on actually, you know, hedging your bets when you do cast something. So you play Leo onto the field, and then you cast Leviathan, hopefully for only 2 CP if you have the Una backup down as well. And then you might have a nice big old card in your hand, maybe let's say Leviathan forward. You just put that on top of your deck, you then play Leo. Oh, sorry, you have already played Leo. He then reveals, oh look, Leviathan, play it onto the field for effectively 1 CP. Not bad. Lightning. So I chose Lightning over the Seymour backup simply for the fact that Lightning can be played more times, Seymour probably not. So yeah, Lightning ultimately can put an Odin from your break zone on top of your deck, and then you play Leo, so it could be the 7-cost Odin, you know, nice big, can break absolutely anything. You play Leo onto the field, you reveal that Odin, you can then cast that for free. Not bad. Ephemeral Summoner. When Ephemeral Summoner enters the field, you may search for 1 water summon of cost 4 or less, and put it on top of your deck. I'm not going to tell you which summon you can put on top of your deck, because you know which summon you can put on top of your deck. If you don't know what summon I'm referring to, then good, because I don't want anyone else playing that bloody card. Yule. An Ice and a Break. Put Yule into the break zone, search for 1 forward, and put it under the top card of your deck. Great thing about this is, doesn't matter the element. Leo doesn't care, Yule doesn't care. So you could use Yule's ability to, I don't know, put Susano, the 2nd card under your deck, and then play Leo, oh look at Susano, bring him onto the field. Now you obviously need to be careful with Yule, because she is breaking herself, so you want to make sure that you've got another 2-cost backup actually somewhere on the field to still be able to play Leo. Actually, I say that, technically you could cast Leo onto the field and then use Yule's ability, because at that point Leo's already cast, so then his ability's on the stack, so you don't need to worry about it. So yeah, you could play Leo, then break Yule, put that card there, reveal it, play it. Tidus. Another broken card, but still really, really good. So you can't be blocked when he's put from the field into the owner's deck. Draw 3 cards, and when Tidus is chosen by opponent's summons or abilities, you may put Tidus at the bottom of its owner's deck. When you do so, choose one for the opponent controls, put it at the bottom of its owner's deck. So you put him back into your deck your own way, you get 3 cards to hand. Your opponent targets him, they're kind of screwed anyway. But and here's where it gets fun. Use something like Typhon. So you play Typhon onto the field. You can choose your own Tidus. You then put Tidus 4 cards under the top of your deck. You then get 3 cards to hand. Oh look, Tidus is now the 2nd card under your deck. You play Leo onto the field, and Tidus comes back in. And what's even better is the fact that you can do this after playing Tidus as well. So you attack with Tidus, can't be blocked, deals your opponent damage. You play Typhon, put him back there, you draw 3 cards, you play Leo, bring him back onto the field, and your opponent's got a lot to deal with, as well as the fact that you've just played probably 3 forwards, and you got 3 cards to hand. What? And that is it, folks. King Leo, I think, in the right setup, can be super, super strong. The fact that he can play anything for free and only costs 1 CP is really good. Now, again, he does have a big prerequisite, but in the right deck setup, not that hard to hit, to be honest. I really like him personally. I think he's going to be... I think he can blindside your opponent for definite. If you have the right kind of cards on the field and you kind of gear it towards it, and you only have 1 or 2 Leos in the deck, and just play it out of nowhere, your opponent's kind of screwed. He does have the benefit though, or the drawback of the fact that you can't cast him from anywhere other than your hand. So there's no cheating him onto the field using something like Bart's when he party attacks, no bringing him from the break zone using Phoenix. It is straight, you have to have him in your hand to play him onto the field if you have the right characters. Let me know what you guys think though. I think he is, you know, just kind of another really good water card that can play things for free, which is not great, but ultimately really, really strong, and I really like him. But let me know what you guys think of it, and any other cool combos I didn't feature here, tell me about them. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and a massive thank you to Square Enix as well before I forget, because yeah, this is just incredible, the fact that I get to do this sort of stuff. And yeah, just say thank you so much, guys. It really does mean the world to me. But yeah, cool, stay safe, be lucky, and I'll see you in the next video.